What's up guys, Ben here and welcome to Motivation to Invest. Now I've received a number of comments from you guys asking Ben, which are the best growth stocks to buy right now? Well, one way of finding growth stocks is to look at growing industries, and cybersecurity is one of those. As more and more people store their data online, the emergence of cybersecurity threats and data breaches have become infamous. A major example of this is Uber, which was hacked in 2016, and this led to the theft of millions of users' accounts.
About how Uber responded to a massive hack attack raised questions about the way it handled sensitive customer information. In an exclusive interview, the U.S. attorney who investigated the 2016 hack detailed how Uber handled the theft of data from tens of millions of users and the very different response from LinkedIn after a similar cyber theft.
Then its executives did not want this data breach to become public, so they paid off the hackers and then tracked them down, but not to turn them in. Prosecutors say Uber launched its own version of a manhunt to track down the two 20-something hackers that extorted the company out of $100,000 in exchange for a promise to delete 57 million user files they stole off a third-party server. The Justice Department says within weeks of paying the ransom, Uber employees showed up at Brandon Glover's Winter Park, Florida home and found Vasily Maracre at a hotel restaurant in Toronto, Canada. The pair admitted their crimes, but Uber didn't turn them over to the cops. Instead, they had the hackers sign non-disclosure agreements promising to keep quiet.
Do you feel that Uber acted responsibly?
Absolutely not.
But Uber's not the only one. Yahoo had one of the biggest data breaches ever.
Yahoo has an urgent message for users. Go online immediately and change your password and security questions. It follows a massive hack of accounts. Yahoo believes information associated with at least 500 million user accounts was stolen. The FBI is investigating what may be the biggest hack ever. Dan Acker.
Data breaches and hacks seem to be becoming a way of life for many businesses, but this is extremely dangerous, and with more people working remotely, these attacks are set to become more prevalent. So what's the solution? Well, one company which is battling the hackers is called Cyber Ark Software, an exciting fast growth company which could be a potential 10-bagger for you guys. So in this video, I'm going to deep dive into Cyber Ark Software and do a full stock analysis. Let's dive in. Welcome back guys to Motivation to Invest. Before we get started, go ahead, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. That allows us to continue creating more great content like this for you guys. In addition, if you would like more investment tips and exclusive stock market picks, which I personally have invested into, then you should definitely subscribe to this channel. Be sure to turn the notification bell on. That way you'll get notified when a great stock is at a great price. So that being said, let's get into the video. So what does Cyber Ark do? Cyber Ark provides a modern approach to identity security through securing privileged access to users. A simple way of explaining this is when you're on your PC and your antivirus says allow this certain program to access applications or allow privileges. Basically, when you do this, this gives the hackers a potential backdoor into your IT network. So Cyber Ark helps to defend against this at an enterprise level to help prevent more data breaches from big companies such as Uber and Yahoo. Right guys, so diving into the Cyber Ark investor presentation, let's find out a little bit more about this company. Cyber Ark at a glance, we can see it's had a 33% compounded annual growth rate on the revenue. So in 2014, the revenue was around $100 million. And that's increased to over $400 million by 2019. The beautiful thing about this company, which is rare with a lot of these high-valued growth companies, is the fact that it's actually been profitable and its net income has been increasing, which is different to, say, Tesla in the early days, which wasn't profitable for a very long time. Even Square is not profitable at the moment. Cyber Ark is profitable. Operating margin 28%. It's a software business. They usually have a higher operating margin. Around 5,500 customers. Greater than 50% of the Fortune 500 are customers of Cyber Ark software. So here we go, strong business momentum. So yeah, 33%, 100 million 2014, 400 million 2019. Net income has also increased. Operating cash flow has increased, and the customers have all been increasing. So great fundamentals so far. Strong business momentum. 21 of the top 25 in manufacturing, telecom, pharmaceuticals, insurance, banks, energy. So it works with a lot of companies, a lot across many industries, which is a great sign to see. It means it's, in a way, it's customers, despite them being sort of large businesses, they're well diversified across sectors. So if, say, banking is doing bad and they cut back spending in a certain area, then maybe pharmaceuticals won't be. So it can benefit the company in that way. This just tells you about all the, obviously, cyber attacks, which are common. I spoke about Uber previously and Yahoo, and many others on here have had cyber attacks and data breaches. It's a very, very important area at the moment, fast growing. This just talks about the privileged users. So we've got, obviously, apps, robots, people can all be privileged to work in certain places. It just tells you about how the system works. If you don't understand this, that's fine, because it is quite a complex diagram. It's just generally try and understand what the business does. It works on privileges. So like I mentioned previously with your antivirus software, when you allow certain applications to access software, this just does this on an enterprise level, so on a large company corporate level, and just tries to fight the hackers. Cyber Ark's mission. Secular trends, so network takeover, loss of critical information, reputational damage, complex hybrid architecture, organized criminal groups behind 39% of the breaches, 23% of attackers, proliferation of IT assets and devices. So if you're a large business and you read about all these threats to your business, you're going to want to put a portion of your cash aside to spend on cybersecurity software. So this is where Cyber Ark comes in. So this tells you about the different places that attacks can come from. So as we go in towards the Internet of Things, so internet connected devices, digital devices, they also add an extra vulnerability to the IT network. Robotic processes, another vulnerability. Endpoints, such as all the mobile phone devices, cloud computing. Your IT system is only secure as your weakest link. So any of these, if they're hacked and the hackers find a way in through these processes, it can be a real bad sign. So this just shows you how the threats work. Escalate privileges, form reconnaissance, disrupt business, and they take the data. So it looks at endpoints. So from your endpoints in an IT lingo is basically your workstations or your mobile phones or your tablets. So it looks at privilege, credential theft protection for workstations, and it's got core privileged access security, application access managers. So for the applications, when these are allowed to access certain elements, privileged cloud, AI platforms here in software. Cyber Ark and adaptive. So adaptive acquisition. This is a latest acquisition. Fourth, software as a service offering accelerates ARR growth. Future of identity security. Expand Cyber Ark customer base to 6,000. 50 engineers with deep identity security expertise. So that's what they get for the acquisition of adaptive. Innovation. So the guy's been going since 2003 when they did their first sort of innovations, and all the way up to now. Certified partners. So they work with a lot of well-known businesses, brands, over half of the Fortune 500. You've got Microsoft here. You've got Thales, that's a defense company. SAP, Business Services, Palo Alto Networks, that's another investment I have. So they work with a lot of the major IT providers and businesses. Multiple drivers. So this just shows you there strategy for long-term growth. So you've got industry headwinds, industry tailwinds, favorable competitive landscape, digital transformation, increasing attack service, escalating cyber threatscape, land new customers, expand, cross-sell new products, deliver new innovation. So that's their plan. Biggest data breach of the 21st century. Equifax is one of the most recent publicly known ones. So Equifax, 143 million accounts compromised. Equifax is basically a company which does credit checks. So if a bank, if you're getting a loan from the bank, they will check your credit with Equifax, which has everyone's data and their credit rating. So they were hacked 2017. Adult Friend Finder, eBay was hacked in 2014. JP Morgan was hacked, Home Depot, Yahoo, Adobe, Sony. Many companies have been hacked. And these are just the publicly known largest data breaches. I'm sure there have been many more than this, which companies, if they do have a data breach, most companies will try and keep it quiet. Like Uber did this, and they actually tried to pay off the hackers in order and get them sign an NDA in order to keep quiet. So don't expect these companies to own up when they've had a cyber attack, but believe me, they're thinking about it. So Cyber Ark named a leader for privileged access management, highest ability to execute, and furthest for completeness of vision. Financial overview. So track record, strong growth, good finances, global business. So most 60% from US. You've got other countries there. Bookings by vertical, so across a variety of industries. Banking, of course, you want to be secure if you're in banking. Then you've got government, manufacturing, healthcare, then even energy, IT, telecom, retail. So these add an extra layer of diversification to Cyber Ark's customers. Profitable while investing for growth. This is a big one. Like I mentioned previously, a lot of these growth companies, Tesla, Square, they weren't profitable for a very long time, and that made them more risky to invest into. Cyber Ark is already profitable, which is a great sign to see, and its profit, its net income is increasing. Strong cash flow. So yeah, the fundamentals look fantastic. So let's dive into the stock a little bit more. We're here on Stockopedia. A great platform I use. If you guys are interested in using this platform, Stockopedia, I've got a link which I've been given, special referral link, just for you guys, the viewers of Motivation to Invest, 25% off you get if you sign up to Stockopedia. So check out the link below, see if you're interested in the software, see if you like it, and if you do, you can sign up and get a discount. But with that being said, I'll show you the software. So stock rank 69. It's not as high as I'd like to see. I'd like to see maybe a stock rank of 80 plus, but it's still fairly high. Momentum 71, that's fairly high. Quality 93, so it's a high quality company. Value, it's not very good value, which I expected, as it's a growth company. Share price around $100 a share at the moment. It dropped to 72 at the bottom of the crash, and prior to the crash it was around 140. As you can see, revenue is forecast to increase, net profit is forecast to increase, earnings per share is forecasted to increase in the years 2020, 2021. Operating margin has been increasing. These are all great fundamentals to see. The amount of cash has been increasing, working capital. So this is a clear way to see it here. Basically with these graphs, if it's in the top right, it's good. So revenue forecast to increase for 2021, net income forecast to increase, earnings per share forecast to increase. These are all key factors. Looking at the analyst consensus, 8 say hold, 9 buy, 7 it's a strong buy. So there's people here from JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. They're really liking the company. Compound annual growth rate for a year, 26%. Earnings per share. Current ratio, wow, that is a fantastic current ratio. So usually when I'm investing into a business, I'll look for a business that's got at least a current ratio of, say, 2. 2 is a good current ratio. It means the business can pay off its debts or its liabilities at least twice with its cash. In this case, it's got a current ratio of 6.25. That means it has a lot of spare cash for acquisitions, or to expand, or to get new customers, or for research and development. So it's got a lot of cash on hand there. Great sign to see. Return on capital, 4.1%. It says that's similar to the industry. Price to book value, yes, the valuation is high. You're looking at a price to book of 6, which is very high. P ratio 48. So to put that in perspective, the P ratio of, I believe, say Facebook's around, say, 25, 30. So P ratio 48. That's a very high P ratio. So valuation is high. Let's look at the discounted cash flow. So the discounted cash flow, where they've projected the revenues out and discounted the cash flow back to today's date, looking at a percentage growth rate. They say the fair value of the stock should be $82 a share. It's currently $100 a share, so it's 25% overvalued, according to this software. So that is a risk of this company, the high valuation. Financial position, great amount of cash on its books. I would have liked to have seen some inside trading. Institutional ownership. So Morgan Stanley's got a percent, BlackRock, only small percent, but there's a few institutions involved in this. JP Morgan Securities. So there's a few large institutions are dipping their toe in this business. Change here, so 19%, last reported holding date 15th of June. So Morgan Stanley's increased their position in this company by 19%, which is fantastic. And most of these institutions have been increasing their position, which is a great sign to see. This one has decreased it, but majority have been increasing their positions. Overall, it's clear to see that Cyber Ark Software is a great company with great fundamentals in the ever-growing and important cybersecurity industry. Yes, it does have a high valuation, but you'd expect that from a growth company like this. Another potential negative is that many of these cybersecurity companies have a complex business model which can make it difficult to understand. As the great Warren Buffett says, don't invest into any business which you do not understand. So make sure you've got your head around exactly what Cyber Ark does before investing heavy into them. So what have I done? I personally have took a little bit of a risk and I've purchased a small stake in Cyber Ark Software. I've not gone crazy, I've just purchased a small amount which will allow me to follow the company more closely. If the share price drops in the future again, maybe I'll go heavier. So what are your thoughts on Cyber Ark Software? Let me know in the comments below and I'll join in the discussion. And remember guys, this is not financial advice, it's just for entertainment and information purposes. In addition, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And if you'd like more stock market investing tips and exclusive stock picks, which I personally have invested into, then you should definitely subscribe to this channel. And with that being said, I will see you guys on the next video. Invest safe.